जय गोपीजनवल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय गोपीजनवल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना यमुनातीरवनचारी यमुनातीरवनचारी जय राधमाधव कुञ्जविहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्तवृंद Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare जय राधा गोकुलानंद राधा गोकुलानंद राधे जय सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान जय जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद की। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। So today we are reading from 3rd canto, 10th chapter, verse number is 13. The shloka is just one liner. Yathe danim tatha grahe cha. Yathe danim tatha grahe cha. Yathe danim tatha grahe cha. Paschadapi etad idrasham. Paschadapi etad idrasham. Shri Radha Gokulananda ki jai. Paschadapi etad idrasham. Yathe danim tatha grecha. Paschadapi etad idrasham. Yathe danim tatha grecha. Paschadapi idrisham. Yathe danim tatha grecha. Paschadapi idrisham. Vaishnavis. Yate danim tatha grecha. Paschadapi idrisham. Yate danim tatha grecha. Paschadapi idrisham. We'll read word by word translation. Yatha, as it is. Idanim, at present. Tatha, so it was. Agre, in the beginning. Cha, end. Paschat, at the end. Api, also. Etat idrisham, it continues to be the same. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. This cosmic manifestation is as it is now. It was the same in the past and it will continue in the same way in the future. Purport. There is a systematic schedule for the perpetual manifestation, maintenance, and annihilation of the material world. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, Bhuta Gramam Imam Prasam Avasam Prakrate Vasat. As it is created now, and as it will be destroyed later on, so also it existed in the past, and again it will be created, maintained, and destroyed in due course of time. Therefore, the systematic activities of the time factor are perpetual and eternal and cannot be stated to be false. The manifestation is temporary and occasional, but it is not false as claimed by the Mayavadi philosophers. Om Agyantimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakayam Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vancha Kalpataruvyascha Kripa Sindhuvevacha Patitanam Pavanevyo Vaishnavevyo Namo Nama नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेमा प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरत्विसे नमः। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, and thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to serve all the Vaishnavas by reading from our divine Srimad Bhagavatam. So this particular shloka comes in the conversation between Maitreya Muni and Vidura. And here the description of time factor or Kal is going on. We understand from the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam that Mahavishnu, when he glances on the material nature, the causal ocean, he's lying down, and when he's breathing in and out, with every breath the bubbles are coming, and in each bubble is a new universe. And he enters inside as Garbhodakshay Vishnu, and from his navel comes the lotus, and on which the Brahmaji creates universe. And all the living entities which are impregnated by the Supreme Lord in that material universe, they are again given the bodies, and Lord again enters into each and every living entity as Paramatma, and in between the atoms also. So this is a process of creation. And as we understand, as if we have a clock, we have a clock here, and you see in the clock, every day there is morning, afternoon, evening and night. Similarly, this is a cosmic clock, where in the morning Brahma wakes up, creates, during the day he maintains, and in the night he sleeps, and again there is destruction. Again he wakes up in the morning. It's a cyclical nature. So in this purport, we can see that the cosmic manifestation, it is into the cyclical nature. There is creation, maintenance, destruction, and it keeps on happening. Time factor is the real energy of the Lord. Time factor is not something artificial, something false. Time factor is the real energy of the Lord. As we understand that the days are passing by, it begins and it ends, but the time energy remains. Another very wonderful point Srila Prabhupada describes here, that these manifestations which come from the creation, they are temporary, but they are not false. Mayavadis, they always claim that this world is false, but Prabhupada is saying the Vaishnavas, for them, this world is temporary, but it is not false. For example, we have a theater, and there's a stage, and there are different performances. Every day new group comes, they perform, and they leave. But the stage remains. And it is temporary, it is not false. So similarly, this material manifestation is temporary. It is not false. Very important point here that Srila Prabhupada quotes the Bhagavad Gita verse 9.8, that this particular creation, maintenance and destruction happens by the personal will of the Lord. Lord's desire is very, very important here. Without the Lord's desire, nothing happens. In the second canto, 10th chapter, there is description, what all 10 points which are discussed in Srimad Bhagavatam. And in that, Prabhupada explains in the purport that whatever creation, cosmic creation happens, it's only by the desire of the Lord. So we must understand that this cyclical nature is happening because it is the Lord's will. Nothing happens without the Lord's desire. During the Kurukshetra war, there's a very wonderful pastime happened, that there were different, all the kings, they were either on the Kauravas side or on the Pandavas side. So there was a king of the area of Udupi. All of you must have heard Udupi, where there is beautiful deity of Udupi, Krishna. So king of Udupi came, and when the Yudhishthira Maharaj asked him that which side you want to be, on Kauravas side or on the Pandavas side? He said, I want to do the service of cooking for everybody, all the soldiers. So he said, because that is also part of the seva. He said, okay. So the king of Udupi, he decided he would be only cooking for all the Kauravas and Pandavas. He will not be in all the armies, and he will not be actually taking part in the war. And to everybody's great surprise, every day he cooked exactly for the same number of people, same amount of prasad for everyone. Because every day there was destruction, many soldiers would die, but still his prasad was perfect. So once Yudhishthira Maharaj asked him that how can you cook exactly the way, how do you know that how many soldiers are going to be killed? And you cook exactly for a particular number of soldiers. So he revealed the secret. He said, every evening I give the Lord peanuts. And the number of peanuts he eats, I multiplied that by 10,000. And that many people I will create, I make less prasad the next day. Because Lord has already digested. So exactly, if his Lord has eaten today 30 peanuts, tomorrow 30 multiplied by 10,000, that much prasadam will be less. So, and this is what he was trying to show. He was a great devotee of the Lord, that whatever happens is only by the will of the Lord. Even before the war started, the Lord was coming to Kurukshetra, and at that time he met the great warrior Babruvahan. Babruvahan was the son of Ghatotgach. So Babruvahan had a very great benediction that he can exactly, with his arrows, he can mark people and he can kill them. Once the arrows have marked those people, they can be immediately destroyed. So Lord knew his power. So Lord met him and Lord asked him, from whose side you will fight the war? So Babruvahan said, whichever side is weaker, I will fight from that side. So immediately Lord said that, okay, even if, can you show me your power? So he said, he shot an arrow, and on a particular tree, he marked all the leaves. And Lord had put one leaf below his feet, so that, Babruvahan cannot mark. But that arrow marked that leaf also. And with the next arrow, all the leaves were destroyed. So after the war, actually, in Hastinapur, all the Hastinapur Vasis, they were discussing who destroyed maximum number of people. Whether Bhima destroyed, or Arjuna destroyed, or Karna destroyed, who destroyed the maximum number of warriors. And there were a lot of arguments. Then when they approached Lord, the Lord said only one person has seen the war. And you please go and ask him. So Yudhishthira Maharaj said, who had seen the war? And then Lord takes them to Babruvahan. So it was Babruvahan's only face was there. His body was not there. So Yudhishthira Maharaj was very surprised that how come Babruvahan's only head is there and his body is not there. So Lord said, ask him. And Babruvahan was asked that, can you please tell us that who destroyed the maximum number of soldiers in this particular war? And Babruvahan started smiling. Bhima said, I destroyed so many of them. And others were saying, no, Arjuna destroyed so many of them. And Babruan said, actually, none of you destroyed anybody. It was the Lord who was destroying each and every soldier in the army. So they were very surprised that how come Babruahan knows all these things. So Babruahan then explained that when the Lord came to me and he asked me to show my power, I showed him that how I can actually destroy, I can exactly mark, how we mark and delete. Like that he could mark and destroy. And what was his second condition? He would fight only from the weaker side. So if he was fighting from the Pandavas side and he would destroy a lot of Kauravas' army, then again he would switch to Kauravas' army and he would destroy Pandavas' army. So he would keep on switching like this, and if he would have fought the war, nobody could have won. So Lord asked him before the war started that I want you to die. That is my request to you. I do not want you to fight the war. But Babruahan requested, can you please let me see the war at least? And that's how Lord allowed, he destroyed his body, but only his head was there and which was seeing everything. So what we understand is, the point which I am trying to drive is, nothing happens without the Lord's desire. So this cyclical nature of the cosmic manifestation and destruction happens only because of the Lord's desire. That's the point number one. Point number two is, everything in this cosmic manifestation belongs to the Lord. It is the property of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the first canto, 10th chapter, when the Lord is actually leaving from Hastinapur, at that time the ladies of the Hastinapur, they are discussing that how powerful is the Lord. Imagine the ladies also were so philosophical. And they are, you said the verses after verses, they are discussing about the cosmic, how the power of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And they were saying that everything in this universe actually belongs to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And it is his desire, he wants, that's why he has won, and Yudhishthira Maharaj is ruling it now. So nobody can encroach upon the property of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You can only abide by the law of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and whatever is kindly, mercifully awarded to you by the Lord, you can utilize only that much. When Bali Maharaj, he won everything, in the entire universe, the lower planetary system, the middle planetary system, and higher planetary system. He actually encroached upon everything. But the Lord came as Vaman Dev and reclaimed everything back. And then mercifully awarded him the Sutala Lok. So for us, it is very important to know that in this particular cosmic manifestation, whatever is happening, it is temporary, but it is everything belongs to the Lord. Srila Prabhupada, when he was fighting for the Juhu temple land, and he really fought for it, when Mr. N was not giving that land, Prabhupada told Srila Radharas Bihari that I will build a temple for you here. And he fought that war. He said, this is the property of Radharas Bihari. Also, the third point is that this cosmic creation, whatever is created, Lord knows everything about it. Nothing in this cosmic creation is not known to the Lord. Prabhupada explains in the first canto, first chapter, first verse in the purport that Lord is like a gold mine. And from the gold, sometimes you create a earring, sometimes you create a necklace, sometimes you create a bracelet. So different jewelry you can create. So the Lord can manifest in different forms. But ultimately, he knows everything about it. In the same purport, Prabhupada writes that he is like the chief engineer of the construction. Chief engineer knows everything about the construction. He may not be directly involved, but He knows everything, whatever is happening. Similarly, the Lord knows everything, whatever is happening in the cosmic creation. Nothing is hidden from Him. When once Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was in Navadvip, and there was a very famous astrologer who had come to Navadvip, who could tell you very easily your present, past and future, and also about your ancestors. So Lord Nimai approached him that, can you please tell me who was I in my previous life? And he said, okay, sit down. And then he removed all his charts and all his tools to find out, and he started focusing, started meditating. And when he was meditating on his tools and charts, suddenly he saw Mahavishnu with his Chaturbhuj form, Shankha Chakra Gada Padma. And he got so bewildered. And the next he saw was a beautiful prince, Lord Ram, with a bow and arrow. And next vision he saw, Krishna playing his flute under the Kadamba tree. And then he saw Vamana Dev, Varaha Dev, Narsimha Dev. And he just closed all his charts and he said, who are you? You are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And everything which is happening in this universe is only happening under your direction. So nothing goes unknown. Nothing. It's not that Lord doesn't know anything in this particular universe. When at the time of Mahaprakash Leela, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu called Gangadas Pandit, who was his teacher. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Gangadas Pandit that, my dear Gangadas, do you remember at that point of time when the soldiers, the Mughal soldiers were after you and you were running with your family, with your ladies of your house to escape from them. And when you were running, you came across a place where there was a river and there was nothing to cross the river. And you could hear the soldiers coming at the back, you could hear the horses, and you called out to me. And at that point of time, suddenly a boatman appeared and he made you and your family cross the river. He said, I descended personally actually to take you across the river. Lord, when his devotees call him and when they are in need, Lord personally comes. So nothing is unknown to the Lord. There's a beautiful discussion in Shivram Maharaj's book about discussion between Durvasa Muni and Lord Narayan. And Durvasa Muni asks Lord Narayan that, why is Ambarish Maharaj so dear to you? Why are your devotees so dear to you? And why do you love them so much? And you have, Lakshmi ji is serving you, Shiva is serving you, Brahma is serving you. I understand they are very high position. But why do you love this Ambarish and Prahlad? So he said, because Prahlad has undergone so many difficulties for my sake. How can I forget Prahlad? Whenever Prahlad calls out my name, his sound, vibration of calling me, pierces all the universes, Virija, and comes straight to my heart, and I immediately respond to his call. This is a very hope-giving for all of us, that nothing is hidden from the Lord, and whenever we call out to the Lord, wherever the Lord is, he responds. Now, we understand that this is a cyclical nature. Lord creates, maintains, and destroys. But why does he do it? We will see why every day morning you create, you maintain and destroy. Isn't it funny? Why will we do that every day? Prabhupada explains very beautifully that the purpose of creation of this particular universe or manifestation and then maintenance and destruction is mainly Lord wants to give a chance to all the living entities. Either one, if you want to enjoy, you have the tendency to enjoy and you want to enjoy, then you enjoy this material manifestation. And the second is, he wants to give, the purpose of creation is to give a chance to revive the lost relationship with him. Isn't that so kind of him? That Lord does this entire exercise of creation, maintenance, destruction again and again because he loves living entities. And he wants to give them chance. Okay, you want to enjoy? Here is material manifestation, cosmic manifestation, you enjoy. You keep on enjoying, you keep on suffering. Again at the end of annihilation, again you become a seed. And when Brahma sleeps, again you become a seed in the cosmic manifestation. Next day morning the creation will happen. From that seed again you will get, as per your desire and karma, the next body. But Prabhupada explains in the 3rd canto, 3rd chapter, the verses that actually the Lord wants to give a chance to revive the lost relationship with him. Once Markandeya Rishi, he asked Lord Narnarayan that, can you just tell me what is the power of your material energy, power of Maya? And Lord smiled, he said, no, you should not hear about this. He said, no, I want to experience. By the way, Markandeya Rishi had a benediction that he would, for so many kalpas he would survive immortality, where he had a benediction like that. And he was doing his everyday routine devotional service, and suddenly he saw the wind blowing and the entire universe was, actually destruction was happening. The water of inundation was just filling everywhere, and he started floating. He floated for hundreds and thousands of years, and suddenly he saw a island very far. And on that island there was only one banyan tree. And somehow he drifted towards that island, towards that banyan tree. On that banyan tree, he saw on a leaf a small bluish baby boy sucking his own toe of the left leg in his mouth. And he was observing him, and without even realizing where that boy was breathing, he entered through his nostril inside the body. And inside the body of that child, Shri Radha Gokulananda ki jai. Inside the body of that beautiful golden bluish boy, he saw again the same thing, the cycle of creation, maintenance and destruction. And then when he breathed out, he came out. And he wanted to embrace that bluish boy. But the Lord disappeared. In the Skanda Puran, actually in the Mahatmya of Jagannath Puri, it is said that during the destruction, the same pastime appears, that Markandeya Muni is seeing this entire place, and the Lord says, everything gets destroyed except that island where I reside. And which is that island? It is Jagannath Kurukshetra. So that never gets destroyed. So the Lord is creating this cosmic manifestation, cosmic world, only to give a chance to the living entities to revive his relationship, her relationship with the Lord. Srila Prabhupada explains that living entities are not part of the material nature. Living entities are actually part of the Lord himself, because Lord glances, through his glance he impregnates the material nature. And when he impregnates all the living entities in the form of seeds, they come in contact with the material nature. So the living entities are by nature spiritual. They are not material. Each living entity is spiritual and is coming directly from the Lord. But when the living entity comes in the contact with the material nature, they start developing the desire to enjoy. And when that desire develops, they forget the Lord. So Lord actually comes back again and again in this material world to remind that you are my part and parcel and you please come back to me. So kind is our Lord that He is coming again, He is creating this again, just to remind us that come back, come back. This is not the place for you. Because this is a place you will keep on, you think you are trying to enjoy, but you are only suffering. After the war of Kurukshetra, when Yudhishthira Maharaj was established as the king, he still did not sit on his Raj Simhasan. Why? Because Dhritarashtra was occupying that throne. He was still so attached to that throne, he was not leaving it. So Vidura comes. And Vidura comes and explains to him a very beautiful story. Vidura says there was a man and a tiger was after him. So in the forest he was running and he fell down in a deep dark well. As he was falling down, he saw there were so many snakes down who were just waiting to bite him. So he catches hold of one branch of a tree and is hanging there because he is watching the tiger moving up and back and forth, looking at him, and the snakes are down, they want to bite him. And on the branch where he is hanging, there is a white rat and a black rat, and both of them are eating that branch. So any minute that branch can actually break down. But at that time, on that tree, there is a beehive and the honey is dropping. So this man, looking at the tiger, looking at the snakes, looking at the rats, he's trying to taste that drop of honey. This is the condition of the living entity. In this material world, there's only suffering, danger from every side. But still the living entity wants to find the happiness. But the Lord is saying that this place is not for you. Srila Prabhupada says that it is actually repeated cycle of birth and death. You are suffering here. And the only way, the Lord wants us to, He is creating this so that we go back to Him. And the living entity wants to enjoy. And who cracks the deal? Prabhupada explains in the first canto, 10th chapter, in the purport to Narad Muni's instruction to Vyasadeva, where Narad Muni is explaining about his previous life, that how he was born as a son of a maid servant, and he was staying in the forest, in the ashram, and Bhaktivedanta sadhus came, and he was serving them. And that purport Prabhupada explains, the only way a living entity can get rid of this enjoying propensity and go back to Godhead is by serving the spiritual master. So if the living entity, when he meets in this creation, the spiritual master, and starts serving the spiritual master, as much as he serves, depending upon his service to the spiritual master, Prabhupada writes, Lord consents to reveal Himself. So as much service you do, that much Lord will reveal to you. The spiritual progress you make is directly proportionate to the amount of responsibility you take on behalf of the spiritual master. We have so many pastimes from the scriptures that the Brahman, South India Brahman, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visited Srirangam, and when he was taking darshan of Ranganath, he saw one Brahmana who was holding Bhagavad Gita and he was continuously crying. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu approached him, and when he saw that he was holding Bhagavad Gita also not straight, it was upside down. So he asked him, what are you doing? He said, no, my spiritual master has instructed me that every day I should read Bhagavad Gita. He said, but you are not even able to read it. See, I do not know how to read. I do not know how to read Sanskrit. He said, then why are you crying? He said, just seeing this picture that Lord Krishna has become the charioteer of Arjuna, that Lord can take any position to serve his devotee. He's become a chariot driver. Just that realization is making me cry. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that shloka that, when you serve the spiritual master, follow his instruction, Krishna reveals. Our great Acharya Ishwara Puri, his spiritual master was Madhavendra Puri. And when Ishwara Puri served Madhavendra Puri during his last few days, when he was very sick in old age, Ishwara Puri personally did all the services to his Guru Maharaj and served him so nicely. And because of that, Ishwara Puri got the opportunity to become the spiritual master of Lord himself, Lord Gauranga. So whatever amount of service you perform to your spiritual master, Lord reveals. Spiritual master knows your capacity. He knows how to engage the living entity in the service of the Lord. In this cosmic creation, we have the famous example of Shabri. Shabri was the disciple of Matanga Muni, and she was serving very humbly in Matanga Muni's ashram by cleaning the floor, filling water, serving all the disciples. And at one point of time, Matanga Muni, with all his disciples, was going back to Godhead. But he told Shabri, no, you stay here. And you serve in this ashram, and one day Lord Ram will come. So Matanga Muni left with all the disciples, but Shabri, just following the instruction of her spiritual master, she stayed there and she was serving selflessly, just following the instruction and having complete faith in the instruction of the spiritual master that the Lord will come. And ultimately Lord Ramchandra came and she served Lord Ram. So in this particular shloka, what Prabhupada writes, that manifestation is temporary and occasional, but it is not false. So we all are working under the direction of the Lord. Lord knows everything about us. And the only way we can actually come out of this repeated cycle is by serving our spiritual master. When we serve our spiritual master or under the guidance of the spiritual master, that is the only way to make spiritual progress and to get out of this repeated cycle of birth and death. When we follow the instructions of the spiritual master, what we are told to do, it purifies us. When Srila Prabhupada gave the 4 regular principles, it is for our purification. What we are told to do purifies us. What we have to do sustains us. What we have to do? Association of devotees, reading scriptures, chanting the holy names, that sustains us is in our spiritual life. And what we like to do nourishes us. So for us as a living entity in this particular cosmic creation, it is very important. For us the message is very clear. Do not try to enjoy this place, but try to serve whatever the Lord has given you, mercifully awarded to you, in the service of the spiritual master and Krishna. And that is a perfect way, at the end of this life, we will go back to Godhead. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Is there any question I can answer?
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for the class. You mentioned that everything happens according to the Lord's desire. So I was just wondering where our own desire comes into that.
Where our desire comes. Yes, that is why I said everything happens as per Lord's desire, but Lord gives us the free will. That is only one thing which is given to us. So as a living entity, we can utilize that free will. If you want to enjoy, you enjoy. But if you want to utilize that free will to serve the Lord, to connect with the Lord. Because Lord doesn't want to force the living entity to forcibly love Him. And that's where the free will comes. So living entity has been given the free will. You decide to sit here for the class or you decide to go out. It is your free will. So that free will is definitely given to us. Yes. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. I understand that when following instructions, the mood in which you follow reflects how much you receive from that instruction as well. I was hoping to understand more on how we can follow instructions from a place of faith and attachment rather than from a place
Sorry,
of...
I'm not able to hear.
I was hoping to understand how we can follow instructions from a place of faith and attachment rather than from a place of duty. Is there any way or anything that we can meditate on that? Thank you.
See, as we understand, out of fear, out of duty, or out of responsibility, we can follow. But if we follow out of love, then it is sustainable. Right? So that connection with the spiritual master, it has to develop. When you develop that attachment, then it is very much easier for you to serve him with the love. And how does that attachment happen? How does that love develop? By hearing. When you hear from the spiritual master, from Srimad Bhagavatam, or when you hear from Srila Prabhupada, his Vani, that Vani, that hearing, process of hearing is very powerful. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Saddha Kabunoy Shravanadi Suddha Chitte Korile Udoy. Krishna Prem is already established in your heart. And how will you awaken it? By hearing. So when you are hearing repeatedly from the spiritual master, you develop the attachment. Shri Rukmini Devi, she never met Krishna. But she kept on hearing about Krishna from different Brahmanas who came. Oh, Krishna did this, Krishna did that, Krishna did this. And by hearing, she developed the attachment for Krishna. The Yagik Patnis, the pastime of the Brahmanas and their wives, whom Krishna and Balram sent his friends to, when they were hungry, they wanted some prasad. And when they came to Brahmanas, the Brahmanas said, we are performing yajna, we cannot give you anything, this is all for us. So Krishna said, okay, go to their wives. And as soon as the boys went, coward boys went to the wives, they said immediately, please take all this. In fact, they had prepared everything for their husband's yajna. They said, no, you take, in fact, we will come with you. And when they came, how did they develop that attachment for the Lord? They were not performing yajnas, they were not doing austerities. They said whenever they went to market, they heard the gopis discussing about different pastimes. Oh, today Krishna killed this demon, Krishna did this, Yashoda Mai tied Krishna. So by hearing repeatedly, the Yagik Patnis, Brahmana Patnis, they develop intense attachment for Krishna. So similarly, hearing is the most powerful process for the living entity in this material world. And with that, by hearing regularly from the mouth of the spiritual master, you will develop that love and attachment. And then you will be able to perform that service.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Mother. Thank you so much. I'm not quite sure how to ask this question, but very recently we've had quite a few calamities in our family where we've had very close deaths. And one being a very young person at the age of 56 and left 3 children, but through cancer. But how can I bring faith into these children in such calamities when we say Krishna has a bigger plan? And how can I help them to not dislike God? I don't know if it's related to this class, but I think it's to do with the manifestation.
My sister is here and we have experienced the same thing. My father was 48 and 3 of us were just 18, 19, 20 years when we lost our father. And it was not easy. So best thing is to give them time and love. Don't try to preach them philosophy. Time is the best healer. As the time passes, they will feel, they will realize. Because sooner or later this is going to happen. Whether 56 or 66, 76 or 86. That we understand. Philosophy we understand. But we cannot tell them. We just need to be by their side. And do not underestimate the power of Lord Krishna sitting in your heart as Paramatma. He is sitting in their heart. When you are sitting next to them and you are just listening to them or being with them and you are a devotee, the Lord in your heart will definitely activate the Lord in their heart and give them that soothing balm which they need. Have faith in this.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Hare